Welcome to Sandwich Seniority. I'm your host, Robbie Haig, and I am meeting today with Martha Johnson, who is Outreach Coordinator for the Council on Aging here in Sandwich. We realize that during this time of the year, there's so much more going on at the council and around town, and we wanted to bring a lot of this to your attention. Martha, it's so good to have you here.
Thank you.
And we really have a lot to talk about, don't we?
Yes, indeed.
And as outreach coordinator, of course, you have people coming to you for problems in the community. But tell us about who helps out with these problems in the community.
Okay, there are always issues that come up that through the Council on Aging, it's not anything that we could particularly help with. That's not within the realm of what we do, but we try to collaborate with other agencies. We work very closely with St. Vincent de Paul Society. That's a part of the Catholic Church here in town, Corpus Christi Parish. Work with the Sandwich Food Pantry folks, and we also, over the holidays, collaborate with Home Instead Senior Care. And Home Instead Senior Care has the program, Be a Santa to a Senior. And we sponsor 20 local residents that live in a group facility here in Sandwich. Lovely people, older people, very, very modest incomes, and we try to make some of their wishes come true for them at Christmas time. We will have a list that we send up, and the administrator of the home that they live at will ask them, what is it that you'd like for Christmas? How can we help you? And sometimes it can be heartbreaking. It can be something as simple as a box of stationery, warm clothing. Their needs are so modest and so basic. So we, of course, meet all of those needs and try to give them extra fun things too. And always things like scented soaps and hand lotions and nice little treats and pretty scarves and things like that. We work with Home Instead, and Home Instead places trees around the community, and the client is never identified by name, but just a brief description, whether it's a man or a woman, the age, and some of the things that they might
they'll
like.
tie these on a
Tie them on a tree.
For the needs? Oh, what a wonderful idea.
And you can actually take that, it looks like a Christmas ball, off the tree and agree to sponsor that senior.
What a great idea.
It's a great idea, and everything is always anonymous.
Very good.
So it's very good.
So where are these trees placed?
Home Instead will place the trees. I know some of the banks in town will allow a tree to be placed in their lobby with the request on, shaped like a Christmas ball, and you can take it and contact Home Instead and say, I'd like to sponsor client so-and-so. And then there's a list of what they would like and what they need and sizes.
What a wonderful idea.
So whether you can do
and of
the
course,
total
no names
package.
are mentioned.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, that's really
good. It really is. It's a wonderful idea, so that then the person gets so many gifts, and they're all gift wrapped.
Very nice.
We have a coming together day where we all get together and wrap these gifts and toss in little extras and little things like that. Try to be respectful. Some people, a diabetic, can't have candy, so we'll try and do other things for them. Always nice scented hand lotions, some pretty jewelry, magazines, different things,
because
note
they
cards.
have so small finances to.
Most of these people, they're living in the nursing homes, and they qualify for Mass Health placement. So all that they're allowed to keep is about $78 a month. Wow! Everything else has to go to pay for their care. So they have very little left over.
$78 a month is not a lot of money.
That's for clothing. That's for anything you need, personal grooming products. And Dr. Robinson, the dentist here in town, is so good about providing toothpaste and toothbrushes and mouthwash and everything.
How wonderful.
So that's great. He's a wonderful resource, and we have people in town. They're aware that we do this. We've been collaborating with Home Instead Senior Care now for quite a while. So we have the list in our office too, and we'll just say it's a female, and this would be her size. If you'd like to buy her something, or she likes scented soaps, or she likes hand lotion, or she likes puzzle books. So people get this huge big bag of presents, and they're all wrapped. And
Wonderful.
we
So you all
enjoy it
get
so
together to
much.
wrap them.
We all get together,
It's
wrap them.
another little
yeah.
personal
It's wonderful,
addition.
it really is. We love it because it
Yeah.
puts us in the spirit too.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Sure.
It's
And do you
fun.
all go over there with them?
Quite a few of us will go over there. We'll all
Yeah.
bring everyone's gifts and try to bring some goodies if we can. It's nice.
good.
And sing some songs. It certainly makes you appreciate what you have too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're so appreciative themselves. We get the nicest thank you notes back from people. But it's just, it can be something as the practical, they'll put down, I'd like a pair of warm pajamas or a sweatshirt or socks. So we try to do all the basics, personal care items, hand lotion, razors for the men and things like that, shave cream, scented soaps for the ladies, nice little treats. And if they can have candy or cookies, we'll do that too.
Now, we do know, and I like to bring this out, that the Council on Aging cannot try to bring in funds, money, to take care of things. You have the Friends of the Council on Aging.
Correct.
And people out there can get in touch with the Council on Aging and say they wanted to make a monetary donation to the Friends
Correct.
of the Council on Aging.
And then when we do the sponsor a senior at the holiday time, people from the community can always call and say, how can I help? And I have the list at my desk too. Or I have one lady now that has knitted hats, gloves, and scarves for all 20 residents.
Really?
So I have that already in my office. We're
isn't that
already,
wonderful?
she's knitted several lap robes and Afghans. So as we get donations in during the year, everything we'll say, oh, that'll be great. We're going to hold on to that because when we do the stuff for the Christmas people, we can, Afghans, lap robes, things like that. So I have a very, very talented lady who's just been home knitting and crocheting for months now. And she'll show back up and bring in these bags of things and say, what have you got for me? Do you have more yarn for me? And off she goes.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
So people can donate yarn.
Absolutely,
Also.
absolutely. If you don't have the time or the talent to finish the project or even start the project, to buy the supplies or donate the supplies. Exactly.
Wonderful.
So we have a lot of people will come in and say, what do they need? What can I buy? And it could be something as simple. Next time you go to Sears and buy 6 pairs of white socks for somebody.
Sure.
If you can't afford a lot, just sometimes these little things
Yeah.
really help out a lot.
Now, during this season, you also have people who donate food to the food pantry?
We urge them if they can to bring it directly to the food pantry, but if
Where is the food
the
pantry?
Sandwich Food Pantry is in Canterbury Plaza, and they're open on Wednesdays, I think from 10 to noon, and the last Wednesday of the month from 6 to 8. But Gigi Ridgely, the executive director, does have baskets strategically placed throughout town where people can
Excellent.
leave donated items. And again, we will take them to and see that they get over to the food pantry.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll never
And-
say never.
Very good. And of course, the food pantry will be very busy.
Yes, this time of year,
Especially-
there is a big need. There's always a need.
Right.
Always a need, but especially around the holiday time, it's nice to have little extras.
Sure.
We all enjoy something special, little treats. So people are so generous. People are very, very good in town about remembering, especially around the holiday time, you know, bringing little things in. But as I say, we do work with the 20 residents, and we do see that whatever they put on their wish list, we certainly do get that if at all possible, but add lots of nice little extras, and everyone gets a warm sweater and hats and gloves and
Wonderful.
magazines or books or scented lotions and soaps and little treats.
And you can't get more personal than having a human being knitting all of their
Exactly.
love into that yarn.
Yeah,
And I do
yeah.
believe that, you know, it just does come across.
Oh,
that
it does.
When it's done with love.
It does, it definitely comes
Yeah.
across. And then a lot of the kids from the school will come up and they will make handmade cards and things like that, and those are always
Yes.
included. So it's fun. We look forward to it every year.
And it's wonderful
Yeah.
to have the children realize that they're helping out the elderly people also.
Exactly. Someone that has a need for that, and their needs are so basic, So basic
And,
sometimes,
you know,
yeah.
the idea of the dentist to be giving toothbrushes and toothpaste,
Yeah.
I mean, nobody wants to be given a filling as a gift.
Oh, it's great. He's great every year. Dr. Robinson does that every
Isn't
year.
that wonderful?
Yep, and then
so
there,
it just goes to show you that each place, each person can do something.
Something. If you can't do a big gift, something as simple as buying a couple of packages of Kleenex to tuck in
Yes.
things, because the seniors themselves are on a very, very limited fixed income.
Right.
And it's really, really hard to buy those things. So we'd like to do the basics, but along like that, have nice little special treats and things like that. And people are very generous and sandwich that way.
And you had mentioned that there are some things that you cannot use food stamps for.
Yes.
And do we really think about this? Or the food pantry may not have toilet paper.
Exactly. Sometimes they may not. Sometimes Gigi Ridgely and the Sandwich Food Pantry, they are great about thinking outside the box like that too. Things that you can't get with food stamps, you can typically get from the Sandwich Food Pantry. Food stamps can only be used for items that you can consume.
Right.
But people have pets. People, it's very, very important to them. You can't use food stamps to buy pet food.
Right.
Or paper goods or things like that, or shampoo or things like that. But we all need those things.
Do you have any compensation for animals in the area? Is there a veterinarian that does?
I know there's a fund called the Samson Fund.
Okay.
And I know that does help people with mainly animals that need to be spayed or neutered, that sort of thing. But I'm certain that there, might be help out there if somebody. But as I say, usually at the food pantry, there's usually cat and dog food there.
Very good.
For people, for their pets, because
Sure.
pets are so important.
Absolutely. There actually is a person in the area, and I had talked with her in the past. Her name is Fairy Dog Parent.
Oh, how sweet.
And she has really been doing a fantastic amount of work with people, especially who have animals and they can't afford them. They lost their job. She'll bring in food.
Wonderful.
And as a matter of fact, she's someone that I would like to bring here to Sandwich Seniority and have her tell her own story.
Amazing.
Because it's a beautiful story.
Amazing.
And
Oh,
she's quite well known now.
Oh,
I met her
amazing,
about
yeah.
2 years ago.
Oh,
So, and I'm sure there are other people in town who are giving.
People are very, very generous in this town. As I say, the Sandwich Food Pantry is a treasure because people can go there and get things that food stamps won't allow them to purchase.
Right.
And it can be pet food, personal care items, laundry detergent is huge. We all need that. Can't buy it with food stamps.
No,
so,
and it's getting more and more expensive
absolutely.
too.
So things like that are really, really great. So and people can go to the Sandwich Food Pantry once a month, and they're great. They really are a great help over there.
Now, during this season, do you have more volunteers? An increase in the number of volunteers, people who want to come in and just do something.
Yes. Yes. We've had several people come in already. Jan Richards and her brother had always done the community Thanksgiving dinner. They're not doing that this year, but people associate that with our agency, the Council on Aging, because it comes out of the Human Services building. So we're telling to try other churches. I know a lot of groups have picked up the Thanksgiving dinner. And and are certainly attempting to meet that need. And Gigi always says the Thanksgiving, the turkey trot, the race every year. That
what is that?
The turkey trot is Thanksgiving morning, and along with an entry fee, it's a bag of groceries. And the bag of groceries goes to the food pantry. Food pantry here in Sandwich, and I think there's another food pantry too. It's trailer trucks full of food that Gigi will get, and it's wonderful. So I mean, the community is really working, trying to help one another. These are tough times for a lot of people right now. A lot of people out of work and have never had to access services like this before.
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to ask for help, but the help is out there. But we, as I say, through Home Instead, we work with them, and this is Be a Santa for a Senior. So this is our big focus. We like to do this every year.
Excellent. I've worked with a group in the past who were given cans of pumpkin from the food pantry, and they made pumpkin pies and had them ready for the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, wonderful.
And that has been a great hit for anyone out there who needs an idea.
Right, yeah.
Pumpkin pie is
Think
still,
about that, yeah.
yeah.
So as I say, I know a lot of the other church and social service organizations are doing Thanksgiving dinner, but Jan Richards won't be doing it this year. It had always been held at the Human Services Building.
Okay.
But she and her brother Ed are just taking a much needed break this year.
Sure.
But hopefully there'll be other people. Usually within the next couple of weeks there's a list in the newspaper, the local paper, of all the places that do have a Thanksgiving meal.
And somebody will probably step up and
Someone
take
might
over
step to
for
the
them.
plate, exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
So you had mentioned the trees that are placed around town.
The Home Instead is the agency
Okay.
that organized this, and then they work not only with folks that live in Sandwich, but a lot of the Upper Cape and Middle Cape towns, and they place trees around in bank lobbies or things like that, and it's the shape of an ornament, and it just says that the person, it could be a female, age 60, whatever, and these are her Christmas wishes, and you can take that ornament and sponsor that senior. So we have 20 people in town that we work with Home Instead, and then you can sponsor the entire gift list, just a portion of it, whatever you like.
And Home Instead, by their name, they do try to keep people at home.
At home, and provide services in the home for the senior, exactly. That's their whole focus. But there are some people that can't live at home any longer.
Absolutely.
And so that's our focus. We try to identify those people. These are people typically without family in place. So along with the basic needs for, I'd like a sweater, or I need pajamas, or a pair of slippers, all the little nice things too, like, a pretty Christmas pin or a scarf or some nice lotion or things like that. So they get a lot of gifts.
That's
A
wonderful.
lot of gifts, and people are very, very generous.
Yeah.
So it's fun. We love it too. It's nice for us.
Absolutely. You do have more volunteers who come in to work during this holiday season.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed, we do. We have many, many calls from people in the community wondering how can they help. People are very, very generous. And Sandwich, and they realize sometimes that the focus of the holidays sometimes is on children, but there are a lot of needy seniors out there,
Right.
people that have had a loss.
Sure.
And so they're, asking, how can I help? What do you know a person that might need something? And just from being out in the community and knowing about folks, we can say, I know a person that could really use a nice warm bathrobe. If that's something you could help out with, that
Very
would be
good.
great. And we'll see that gets out to the appropriate senior, or people will say, what can I do? Do you need this? Do you need that? Or this is what I have at home, and try to match up the need with the person. With the person that's willing to donate that way, and I think it makes us all feel good.
That's right. And basically, we're trying to give the idea of community, and people do step up. When they know there's a need there, it's amazing how people step up.
Exactly. There are so many, and people are very proud. It's difficult for them to ask for help.
Right.
So I think sometimes if the help comes in the way of a gift, it's easier to accept it too.
Right.
They can manage to keep their dignity and still get their need met that way.
Sure.
And it's a win-win. The person giving the gift feels just as nice as the person getting the gift.
Absolutely. Now, do you have a place in town that people could go to? We keep talking about, people losing their jobs, their homes, becoming this side of destitute. Is there a place in town where they can go to get clothing that, if they might need some warm clothing?
Corpus Christi Parish does run a thrift store, and they can get warm winter clothing there. They have vouchers. We have vouchers here at the Council on Aging They just come in and talk to us too. We can work with the Salvation Army. We have contact numbers, so we can, if the need is for furniture or warm clothing, the Salvation Army is over in Wareham. We can get a voucher and get people over there so they can get furniture or warm winter clothing. Housing Assistance Corporation. There's a myriad of agencies that are around, but I say call us first and we'll try and help as best we can. Because people's needs are just always evolving. I mean, there are a lot of people who have done well and then they're just 1 or 2 paychecks away from, oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
Right.
Exactly.
And needless to say, you have got to be buried in paperwork at this time.
My office is a little messy. Organized chaos, I guess, in there. But that's what makes it fun.
Right.
I work with great people, great bunch of people. I share my office with Pat Ryan, who was on your program a while back. So Pat's used to, you know, we get a little bit discombobulated around the holidays as people bring things in, put that in the corner, do this, do that, or I have bags of yarn waiting to go out the door.
Right.
But people are so generous that way. And
really
it makes us feel good
wonderful.
too. It really is so nice.
Well, by virtue of what you do, you're just a kind, a group of kind and wonderful people.
People are very generous in Sandwich, very generous, and are always open to, oh, I didn't know that, but gee, now that I do, I'm going to help you out. Yep.
There's a lot out there that people do not know about.
Exactly.
And some of them can be very obvious to you and me, but the people who need them, not always obvious.
And it's difficult sometimes too for people to admit I need help.
Yes.
Everything was great, and then just one little thing can happen, an unexpected bill, or the furnace needs a huge repair, and that's just enough to throw someone in a tailspin. And you know, we always say, just please keep us in mind, call us. If we can't help, we'll try and find you someone who will. But people are unfailingly generous in Sandwich.
And you're not alone.
No,
you're not alone out there. These people who need help. I have just heard of a friend of mine who has taken on her 5th job.
Oh my gosh!
Because she will take anything she can get, and you know that's what we've come to.
I know it is.
And you reminded me of her when you mentioned the burner. Her burner is not working. She hasn't had heat since last May. She hasn't had hot water. These things are happening.
These things are happening, and that's why it's important that people keep us in mind, because we know of agencies and programs. If you participate in the fuel assistance program, there is money available through that particular program if you meet their qualifications for repairs on oil burners and things like that.
Very good.
It's just not just fuel assistance, you know, they do have other programs available through the year to help that way. But again, if you don't know about them,
that's right.
it's so you're potentially missing out on something that could help you. I mean, that's so important.
Is there any chance that there is a fuel company out there who would give a little bit of assistance, you know, who would help out with repairs or something of the sort?
Well, the Cape Cod Times Needy Fund is a great resource for people like that. I mean, that's what they're all about, meeting the unmet need. And again, if you qualify for fuel assistance, that's part of the program too, either a repair or possibly replacement of your system. So that's out there too. And then we work with lots of other agencies, but primarily right now, if it's concerning heat, Social Community Action Council is the agency that oversees the fuel assistance program, and we have a volunteer intake site here in Sandwich at the Council on Aging. We do fuel assistance for all ages, not just seniors.
Very good.
And then typically when someone comes in and identifies as needing fuel assistance, we can also talk to them about other programs, give them information on accessing food stamps or things like that too. So qualifying for fuel assistance is kind of like the key in the front door, we like to say. If you qualify for fuel assistance, you get a discounted rate on your N-Star light bill.
Oh,
and that discount rate runs 12 months of the year. It's not just for the heating.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It is, so it's really good. urge people, just call us. There are so many
Sure.
programs out there, and one kind of leads into the other. And then we can also talk to them about applying for food stamps, or did you know about the Sandwich Food Pantry? Let me give you their number. And then talking about St. Vincent de Paul or the other social service agencies in town. If you have children and you need warm winter clothing, or if you need help around the Christmas season for toys for your kids, there are groups out there that want to help.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And you had mentioned also earlier that you have grandparents out there who are taking care of grandchildren.
Grandparents raise the grandchildren, and there is a support group through the Bourne Council on Aging that we encourage people to go to. It can be overwhelming, but they can also come into us and find out what they as grandparents are eligible for, whether it's health insurance for their children or how to access the free lunch program at school or all sorts of things like that.
Okay, so 1 minute. Well, it's all very interesting, and it's wonderful that we can get this out to the public, that, hopefully they're listening and they'll know that there's kindness out there.
There is.
And
the Council on Aging, it's kind of a misnomer in that sense. We are
Yes.
certainly all about seniors,
Right.
but we're also all about anyone in the community.
Yes.
Look to us if you can. If we don't know, we'll try and find out and try and help you
That is
as best we can.
absolutely wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you, Martha.
thank you again. Okay.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you out there for watching. It's a pleasure to have you with us. And remember, if you have something that you want discussed and you want it heard on the airwaves, let us know. Let us know through the Council on Aging. They'd be very happy to get the message. And this is Robbie Haig, your host for Sandwich Seniority, and we hope to see you again real soon.